Last week I worked on gameplay feedback, weapon visuals, and making the boss phase more interactive. This week I moved on to new enemy types. I added a mage and a tank, and started testing how they fit into normal runs. Before getting into the new enemies, I cleaned up one older issue with the arrow prefab. The arrows had some strange shadows and something was sticking out from the shape. When I inspected it more closely, I realized I had accidentally mixed the spear and arrow visuals together at some point. So I cleaned that up, fixed the shadow, and added a yellow trail to make the arrow easier to read during gameplay. After that, I planned out the two new enemy roles. The tank is a heavier enemy with more health and more damage. Since it can stay on screen longer, it can pull weapons focus away from other enemies. That also connects to the boss phase. If a tank survives until the boss appears, it feeds more health and damage into the boss through the same harvest system I added earlier. The mage summons weaker minions that are quick to clear, so the player can get extra XP from them. For the visuals, I reused another character from the same free package I used before. I will add the asset name in the description. Once the first versions were in, I reviewed the setup and cleaned up some of the structure. One thing I noticed was that some weapon logic was split up more than it needed to be. For example, the sword already works as an attachable weapon, so I did not need separate versions like hero sword, boss sword or tank sword unless they actually behave differently. So I simplified that and kept it closer to how the rest of the game already works. The tank came together pretty quickly. Once the basic tank behavior was working, I moved most of my testing over to the mage. The first mage version had a few issues. The spawned minions were invisible and some of the visuals were hard to read during gameplay. The invisible minions turned out to be a scale issue. They were spawning but their visual scale was wrong, so they were basically not showing up the way they should. While tuning the mage, I also changed how the summoned minions work right after they appear. I added a short immunity status to them and made it attachable like poison status already is. So instead of making immunity a one-off special case for mage summons, it now works more like a reusable status that can be attached for a short time. Around the same time I adjusted the mage animation too. The mage looked too static while on cooldown. I changed it so it keeps some motion while idle, which makes it feel more alive during gameplay. After that I added a visual effect to the immunity status. I tried a yellow glow. All the minions have a clear state when they spawn, but it does not pull too much attention away from the rest of the fight. Next week I want to keep testing both enemies together in normal runs and tune what stands out the most. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.